I realised pretty young that I drank differently than other people.
From teenage violence to drink driving, a fractured skull and psychiatric wards, Woody shouldn't be alive.
I'm not proud of it. Some of it was just dumb, like smash up a bus stop for no reason. I was a pretty shy kid at school.
You assaulted a police officer. What age was that?
Raised in chaos, he chased ego, women, cars and cocaine, nearly stepping off a 6th-floor balcony at the World Cup. Now, 22 years into recovery...
From my childhood, Dad was a functioning alcoholic. So he goes to work every day. He was a teacher when I was a kid, bright man. But every night when my mum went to bed, he got smashed.
Why do you think you chose the addict side?
Alcohol, it gave me wings, but eventually it took the sky away.
This is the addict who outran death and the price he paid.
If you was to make 5 million quid tomorrow, what would stop you from relapsing?
Before we jump into today's episode, we've noticed that 71% of people watching right now are not subscribed. If you're watching this, you're clearly enjoying it. Here's our promise to you. Hit subscribe and we'll keep raising the bar, bringing you the biggest and best guests yet. Sharper conversations, bigger guests, and unfiltered conversations that others won't dare to do. Hit subscribe now. Woody, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Mikey.
My opening question to you is, when did you actually realise you was an addict?
Ooh, what a question that is. I would say that I realised pretty young that I drank differently than other people.
In what sense? What do you mean?
Well, they probably have a few and I would get absolutely smashed.
Every time?
If there was enough to drink, yeah, I'd get absolutely smashed, yeah.
Seriously?
And then do ridiculous things from the age of 15 and 16, you know, and I'm not proud of it. Some of it was just dumb, like smash up a bus stop for no reason. And I wasn't like the sort of kid. I was a pretty shy kid at school.
Where do you think that addiction come from?
And definitely from my childhood. My dad was a very, very intelligent alcoholic of the, what we call, and I don't like this word, but functioning alcoholic. So he goes to work every day. He worked hard. He was a teacher when I was a kid, bright man. But every night when my mum went to bed, he got smashed.
Every night?
Every night. And every night he threw up at probably about 1 a.m. And then he tells us, little kids, me and my sister, that the reason he's sick is because he has a bad stomach. And when you're brought up in that, you just believe it, don't you? Mm-hmm. My dad's got a bad stomach. I'd never say my dad gets shit-faced every night. He's got a bad stomach. My mum couldn't cope with life at all, so she just took Mogadons and Valiums and all sorts of mind-numbing sedatives to relieve the way she felt. Mm-hmm. So, you know, so he used drink to escape from his issues and she used drugs to escape from her issues. So the writing was on the wall, really. You know,
I once saw a clip that says, if you've got an father that's addicted to alcohol, you either end up one of two ways, either an addict or you hate it and never go near it. Why do you think you chose the addict side?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily agree with that, even though I get where you're coming from. So my sister, bless her, mm-hmm. She went down the, you know, straight-laced route. But she'd, you know, maybe marry an alcoholic, you know what I mean? So it's still in there, you know, it's what people get used to, isn't it? So I do get that. But I feel that, you know, if you've had alcoholism in your family, you're always massively more, you know, prone to go down there. Or you might have addictions in other ways. So you think you don't go down the alcohol route because you think, I'm not having that. But you'll have some other sort of unusual lifestyle choice. OCD, you know, work addiction, want to be super successful, you know, a little bit of what we spoke about before, going out, buying flash cars. And it stems from, for me, it stems from like low self-esteem. You know, you want to, you know, all alcoholics, in my opinion, have low self-esteem. If you feel good about yourself, why do you want to get absolutely off your face? What do you want to do that for? You know, you go out, have a couple of beers and have a laugh with your mates, wouldn't you? Why do you do all those things? And then, of course, the drugs with me, I just progressed onto that when I was in my 30s. And it was cocaine. And it actually enabled me to drink more. And that's why I loved it.
Well, listen, let's take it back to your childhood,
Okay.
your upbringing. Guys, we've got Woody on the show, 22 years on the road to recovery, and he's here today to tell his story and his mistakes so you don't make the same ones. It's a pleasure having you here. We had a nice little chat before the episode started, and I feel like I know you a lot better now. But let's take it back to your childhood. Who are you and where are you from?
Well, my dad was an accountant, and then he became a best-selling accountancy author.
Nice.
He was a teacher when I was a kid. He taught accountancy and that sort of stuff at college. And then he wrote this amazing book, sold 10 million copies.
10 million?
10 million. He made a bit of money out of it. He was never super wealthy. So that was later on in my life. My mum was a housewife, just stayed in at home, very depressed. I call her a negaholic.
Okay.
Everything was negative. Everything. We were brought up, fear the worst. And then if it turns out not to be, then you've had a result.
Mm-hmm.
Just not a good way, not a positive way of looking at stuff. My dad had quite levels of positivity in his life, but he was so codependent with my mother. She was so miserable. He tried to look after her all the time. His love, or whatever you call it, attention, looking after my mother, we call it codependence, outweighed his love or care for me and my sister. Are you with me?
Yep.
I'm not saying he didn't love us, but she came first. So everything was around this woman. And it was just not a very good place to be. Dour, she was miserable. The best you ever got out of her was, how are you today, Mum? Not so bad. That was like, we'd have a party if my mum said not so bad.
Why do you think she was so miserable?
Her upbringing, I would believe. She was brought up in a strict Methodist house.
Okay.
Under the cosh. She had to be in at home for 10 o'clock at night, even when she was 25 years of age.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah. My dad rescued her, you see. He was quite flamboyant, my dad. Walked in this shop, met her, and said, waited outside and told her he's going to marry her.
Serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, but surely, wouldn't she, coming from that, then coming out to this, like, being free kind of thing, wouldn't you just be so happy?
Oh, well, she was, but she didn't have the strength to do that herself.
Okay.
You with me?
Yeah.
Because she'd have been right under the cosh. He gave her the strength. But then, he ended up probably not, she was the controller.
Mm-hmm.
She kept him under the thumb, like, not the other way around. But I think in the early days of their relationship, he was the flamboyant one. He had his own accountancy practice then. He had a car, which was like unbelievable back then.
He was a big man.
But I think she sussed out that she only got his attention when she was ill.
Okay.
So
So she used that to her advantage.
Oh, mate. She was ill all our life.
She was ill like every day of the week.
Every day. Every day she was ill. I mean, she had certain physical challenges that I'm not minimizing here because she did. But oh my God, she milked it. So, we were brought up, how are you, Mum? How are you, Mum?
Is everything okay? Do you want me to do anything for you?
How are you, Mum? And then when she went up to psycho ward, which was quite regularly on psychiatric hospital, she might go in there for a few weeks.
Serious?
Oh, my dad was cool then. My dad didn't give a shit. He still got pissed every night, but he was free.
He was back again.
Hey, don't worry, kids.
Yeah.
I remember we had a 3-day week in the 70s. I'm fucking old, and people only worked 3 days. There was no electricity and football. I was mad on Man City. He'd write me a letter. Here you go, son. Say you're going to the dentist this afternoon. I'll pick you up. We'll go to the match. This is fucking brilliant. Fucking amazing. Then she comes back, boom, back to this. So I think the booze, when I started drinking it, I had this freedom.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so shy as well around girls.
Really?
If there's a girl called Mandy Montgomery watching this, Mandy Higginbottom, I stood at the bus stop every day. I'm going to ask her if she wants to come to the pictures for about 2 years.
Seriously?
I never managed it.
No way.
Today is the day. And I never did it. Put that down me. Oh, mate.
I'm good now, don't worry.
This is heaven.
What, serious? So you were really shy? Because you don't seem like the type now.
Mate, I was really shy. Really shy. Yeah. Alcohol, I love this one. It gave me wings, but eventually it took the sky away.
Literally. Yeah. Alcohol's
sorry.
a dangerous.
So
dangerous
that's
addiction.
where it all started. And then I realized once I got this drink down me that actually girls quite like me. it did, I had great time on it.
It gave you the confidence.
Yeah, I did dickhead things.
Like?
Drink driving, getting in fights all the time, getting arrested a lot. Yeah. And worse, assaulting police officers.
You assaulted a police officer?
Well, a couple of times, yeah. Should have gone to prison for that.
You would have gone to prison now if it happened.
Yeah,
definitely.
probably. I was scrapping on the motorway with a policeman many years ago.
On the motorway?
Yeah, and I'm not proud of this. This is really bad shit. Please don't do this, folks. But I end up biting his ear off in a fight. Yeah, on the motorway. Pretty grim. With cars driving past us. Boom, boom, boom. And luckily, by that time, I was earning a bit of money. And I had an amazing barrister who got me off it.
What does a barrister say to get you off of biting a police officer's ear off?
He found out that this policeman was a young Bobby who was ambitious.
Okay.
And he realised that he'd been forceful with my girlfriend, the way he dragged her out of the car. So he accused him of assaulting her. If that assault charge would have stuck,
he would have lost his job.
Well, no, he would have never got promoted.
Okay.
But that was the basis of it. It went on and on. I had to take the rap for other stuff, but I was looking at 5 years and I walked out free, paid a big fine, and I think I got a caution. And stuff.
What age was that?
25, 26.
Was this at your peak of
No, I'd already nearly died a year before in a brawl in a stately home where I'd had my skull fractured all the way around. My nose was over here.
You never mentioned any of this before we spoke.
Well, you sort of, we were talking more about present-ish, weren't we?
So what happened then?
Well, I'm lying in a bed. Well, I ate the flowers off all the attention seeking.
Yeah.
I ate the flowers off the table at this posh do.
Okay.
A place called Adlington Hall, stately home in Cheshire. Big charity bash, all meant to be lovely jubblies, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I ate the flowers off the table and I threw the stalks. I never ate the stalks, I never eat the stalks, but I used to eat the top part just for a gas, Threw it over my shoulder and they landed in somebody's dinner and it was a rugby team and it was the mother of one of the players. He comes round because I got a massive ego. I always used to struggle to say sorry. So he come round and said, I'm going to ask you to come round and apologise to my mum for,
Ruining her dinner.
Yeah. And I said, well, if you'd said please, then I might have done it. And he was a big lad, And he said, please. And I said, go and fuck yourself. And then it kicked off from there. And then it went on and on and on. It actually got broke up. All got smoothed over, but he'd give me a dig and it'd probably bust my nose a bit, and I felt, and then as the night went on and they were laughing, I thought they were laughing at me because that's the paranoia. Mm-hmm. Addicts and alcoholics always think people are talking about them. And I lost it and I just threw the table over the lot of them and there was a load of them and I ended up getting chucked down a flight of stairs. I don't think they meant to do the damage they did, but I woke up 2 days later in a hospital bed.
They fractured your whole skull?
All the way around and it stayed together by 1/4 inch. The nurse said, I remember my mum and dad were there and my girlfriend or wife at the time, when they were married, but she was there. And they said, you're the luckiest man alive to be, the nurse said, you're the luckiest man I know. Your skull stayed together by 1/4 inch. If it had gone all the way around, you'd be gone. And at that stage, I went to my first AA meeting under duress from my parents and my girlfriend. And I walked in, and in AA, there's a sign, it says, who you see here, what you hear here. When you leave here, let it stay here. So I thought straight away, no one's grassing me up in here. This is quality. So I sat in there. I went back to my girlfriends and my parents and said, got some really good news. I'm not an alcoholic. I just need to cut down. And I carried on for another 18 years. Nervous breakdowns, World Cup, psychiatric hospital myself, couple of stints, just from suicidal tendency. I wanted to top myself quite a few times. Stood on the 6th floor balcony of a hotel at the World Cup in 1990 and nearly took myself off there. That was close. I've got my best pal in the world is Mick McCarthy, he's the footballer. And I went and watched the World Cup. He was captain of the team, and I was meant to be looking after his wife. And she ended up looking after me, and I ended up nearly chucking myself off then and did a few weeks in the P2 psychiatric ward.
Would you say that was one of the lowest points of your life?
Are you still paying 40% tax and wondering why you're not getting ahead? Bro, the game is different now. If you're still stuck in the UK bleeding cash every year, ask yourself this: why? Dubai offers 0% tax, insane lifestyle, and a booming business hub. And the best part, you can get full residency, legally and fast, without jumping through hoops. We've partnered with the team that handles everything: the visa, the business setup, and even the bank account. You don't need to lift a finger. All the information you need for Cranbrook Legal is in the link in the description.
That was right up there, yeah. Anxiety, terrible anxiety. I mean, I shared this on, we've just started this podcast, Woody Unscripted. I'll put it on there.
Guys, the link in the description will be there for that video, so go and have a watch as well.
Oh, thanks, Mikey.
It's all right, let me see.
And, I was desperate. And so I came back from the World Cup into this psychiatric hospital. And I can't tell you the feeling. It was like walking through a door, someone going, boo! You know that feeling when somebody, but that doesn't go away. And that's, anxiety has always been my number one, not so much depression. It leads on to depression. But, I know certain people, like my mother, that would lie in bed all day, depressed. I'd be up, make a cup of tea, not drink it, then go back and make another cup of tea, get back, looking for a fix all the time. You with me? Always looking for a fix to change the way I feel. Yeah. Something. And I'd do that when things were good in my life as well. If things were good in my life, I still look for a fix. If I had a good week at work, back in the day, it'd be you buy your cars out of the paper or the Auto Trader.
Yeah.
And if I'd had a good week at work, I'm changing my car. We spoke about this before, didn't we? Yeah. Buy a Ferrari, buy an Audi R8, something just to fix myself, anything. When I was single, it was like chasing women everywhere, new fix, every night, different nightclub, 7 nights a week. I lived with my mates. There was 4 of us. We went out every night. I earned more money than the others, so I could actually go out every single night. They may not go out every night, but, I had my rota of nightclubs.
Every night, seriously?
Every night. And the whole game was go, get drunk, find a woman, have a one-night stand, and then start the whole thing. Go to work, earn some money again. I thought that was what life was. I thought that, my dad once said to me, son, you place far too much importance on enjoying yourself. I remember coming out and thinking, what's he fucking going on about? That's what it's all about, isn't it?
I'm having my best life ever.
I thought it was. I didn't have any idea about how to treat women, how to treat people. My mates, they got looked after. But I've got a few bob. They're all coming out.
Yeah.
We're larging it up. And then as I went through life, I earned quite good dollar at certain stages of my life where I could afford to be pretty blasé. And then I had, and listen, I'm sure a lot of these mates were my mates, but I'm sure there's a large amount of them that were there just for,
the fun, the good times.
Yeah, I don't see most of them these days. So where have they fucking gone? Yeah. You know what I mean?
When you're up, everyone's your friend. When you're down, no one's there.
I'm sure you probably experienced that in your life, haven't you, Mikey, a bit,
Do you know one thing about me? I'll be honest with you. I don't have any new friends.
Right.
Not because I can't get any of it. I could get a bunch of friends tomorrow if I wanted to, but that's the one thing I've always been scared of, having people around me that ain't going to help me if something goes wrong. If I go out to a club, for example, and we get into a fight, they're going to be the first ones to run away because they don't really like me.
Yeah.
I've probably got 3-4 friends.
Right.
And people say that's pretty lonely. I'm like, no, it's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
I don't speak to him eever, but I know if I ring his phone, he's answering straight away.
Yeah.
Everything all okay, Mikey.
Yeah.
If I say, bro, can I come round? I'm having a stressful week. He'll say, bro, the door's open. Why are you asking? To me, that's a real friend.
Yeah. I know where you're coming from. I had certain friends back then, though, who I knew that if I got in a scrap in a nightclub, like what you were saying, they'd definitely be there for me in the scrap. Half of the reason is they just used to like scrapping though.
Yeah.
So they're
great friends to have. They are great
in that instance, you know, I can think of quite a few. They'd quite like me kicking off and give them a good excuse to have a party, you know what I mean? But I suppose as I've got older, and obviously you're only a young man, and my friendships as I've got older, I've looked back at people, you know, like Mick McCarthy, my mate. I've got people like my sponsor in the fellowship. They're just amazing people. And I can phone them and just be totally honest, and you know them, and they're there for me. And it wouldn't be about being in a fight in a nightclub or something. But listen.
They'd be just genuinely there for you.
Yeah, and I'm sure that, you know, you're 26, aren't you?
Yeah, 26.
So there's 40 years difference between me and you.
Yeah, wow.
So you know, so my friendships are a bit more about that than who'd stick up for me in a scrap in a nightclub. You know,
of course, 100%.
But it's still, you know, still nice to have loyal mates, isn't it?
I think it's very hard, especially in the generation we live now, to actually have genuine friends around you.
Oh, I feel sorry for you, man.
Because especially with social media and stuff like that, everyone wants to be your friend if you're doing well.
Oh, man.
The second you get a bit of backlash, everyone, I can't associate myself with you, mate. Sorry, bro. You got that going on. I'm like, but when I was making loads of money and we was going out, you all wanted to be there.
Yeah.
But that's why I keep my circle small. I'm happy with who my friends are.
Well, that's pretty cool.
I get guests every day. I speak to people. That's my...
Yeah, but you're a cool guy, mate. Because when Sammy phoned, you know, Sammy showed me. Sammy's the producer, guys, of our show. And he phoned me and he showed me some of your stuff, Mikey. And there was a lot of stuff like gangsterism and all that. And I thought, I'm into the Peace Brothers stuff now. You know, the recovery.
Better in your life.
Well, I'd say, better in my life, as in becoming more spiritually well. Helping others, trying to be a good guy rather than getting a fix on how many birds I can sleep with. I'm sorry, use that word, sorry. How many women I could sleep with and what car I drive around in and all that, you know, about dropping my ego, which, you know, for people who know me, know I've still got a big ego with certain things, you know. And if I'm having a little competition on an exercise bike with one of my mates, I want to win, you know. I'm doing this podcast because I want it to be successful, course, you know. So I've not lost that. Some people who are in my fellowship probably, you know, have gone further onto this enlightenment and they're just so happy with what they've got, what they've achieved. There's still something in me. I want a bit more. I want a bit more.
You're not finished just yet.
I want a bit more, you know. So yeah, my ego's still there, you know.
And comparing your ego to today compared to, let's say, 30 years ago, what was your ego like back then?
Horrendous. All macho, chauvinistic, sexist, you know, unpleasant, really. I could like a good charisma with people. You know, I've been a member at golf clubs for years. I had about 5 different lives, you know.
Seriously?
I've got life here with me old mates. It was all right. I've got my golf club mob where I pretended to be sort of quite, like
a golfer.
Mr. Captain, Mr. President, members of the Wednesday Section Society. You know that stuff. I could do that bit. I hated the speeches, though, I'll be dead honest with you. Then I had my other mates, like my footballer mates and stuff, you know. But then I had some other friends who were up to no good. You know, in that world, and I still love some of those friends. It's, you know, I don't judge anybody, but I'd have like different hats. And when I got into taking drugs, I wouldn't have these friends mixing with those friends, and I wouldn't have those friends mixing with those friends, because if those friends saw some of my golf club friends, they'd think they were a lot of arseholes.
Yeah.
And if my golf club friends met some of my
naughty boys,
other naughty boy friends. So I've got that over there, that over there, that over there.
And which one did you enjoy being the most?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Whoever blew smoke up my arse the most, I'm not sure.
That's true. Yeah, I hear that.
You know, and I had this level on the league table. You know, Sammy's a Spurs fan. So I probably had myself as Spurs. I was quite important, but not as important as others. So, you know, I had a low an inferiority complex, probably with my dad, but definitely with my dad. But I had it with Mick McCarthy, my footballer mate, for a variety of reasons. One, he'd been really successful. He played for Man City, but he also was really well behaved.
Yeah.
And I knew I could never aspire to that level. So I'd always thought, to be quite honest, he was a better person than me. The way my dad looked after my mother, even though my dad did leather me quite a bit when I was a kid, I gave him excuses because I used to say, it's because my mum's nagging him. That's the only reason. But so I had this inferiority complex. But with most people, so if I'm Tottenham Hotspur, I think they're about third in the league at the moment. So the other 90 clubs or 89, oh no, I am superior to them.
Yeah.
I am. Look who I'm friends with footballers. I'm friends with people off Coronation Street. I'm friends with some heavy duty people. Don't you wish you were me? And I think that's the crunch of it there. Don't you wish you were me? I wanted people to wish they were me. And when I remember pulling up, it might even have been, it wasn't that long ago. It might have been, I think they played for United at the time. Superstar for United. What was his name? Eric Cantona.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I had a pee next to him in the toilets at Mulligan's, which was like a trendy bar up in Manchester.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, because he was pretty cool, when I remember thinking, I wish I was Eric Cantona. And I think I wanted other people to think that about me.
You.
I wish I was him. And now, I don't want to be anyone else. I don't. I'd like to be a bit better at golf. I'd like to have a bit more dough, but it's not that essential. I don't want to be you.
Yeah.
I would have looked at you, and I'm blowing a bit of smoke up your ass here, but God, he's 26, good-looking boy, he's ripped, he's got his own show, wow.
Yeah.
But it's just about being happy in your own skin.
But there's always one thing I've learned as well. There's such a negative thing to have a mindset like that. I always, in my head, wanted to be the guy as well. I wanted to always be the main guy.
Yeah.
But then you realize there's always someone doing better than you.
Definitely.
Or if you start comparing your life to people on social media, there's always someone out there younger than you, buying a better car than you, spending more money than you. But it comes down to being content with life.
Of course it does.
And actually understand, I'm happy with where I am because I could be way worse.
Yeah.
And that's what I learned. I know I'm a lot younger than you, but I think I learned that through doing a lot of shit, through being stupid, losing a lot of money, and having to drag myself back up. And I like being in uncomfortable situations. I love having no plan B. Plan A's got to work. There is no, what's your plan B? I haven't got one. Plan A's working. And as much as people think it's so arrogant or so cocky to think I'm going to make it work, it's not because I'm not going to work hard enough. I'm going to make sure I work hard enough.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I'm ranting about, but yeah.
Well, you mentioned something earlier. I hope you're okay with saying this.
Go ahead.
But you mentioned that your girlfriend had criticised you for not being
emotionally intelligent.
Emotionally intelligent. Yeah.
I still don't even know what that word means.
Well, it means maturity, I think.
Guys, before we dive into the rest of this episode, if you're enjoying this episode and want to see this guest back for a part 2, make sure you scroll down, smash that like button. Let's aim for 2,500 likes. If we get it, we'll bring them back for part 2. We'll see you soon. Yeah, I don't know. She just shouts at me every day, I'm not emotionally intelligent. And I'm like, I don't know what you mean. I'm like, I'm just a man. Like, I don't know what emotional intelligence is. Just leave me alone. Like, what do you want from me? I'm a guy. I'm not meant to be emotionally. That's your job. You're the woman. You be emotionally intelligent. I don't understand it.
Oh, that's
like, I tell her as well, we argue about it every day. She's like, why don't you understand this? And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. You're speaking a different language to me. And then, so now I've started lying to her. I tell her I am emotionally intelligent. Hopefully it works. I don't know what it is.
Well, so here you go. Right. So if we had if you think about this and I said, right, Mikey, I'll quadruple your viewers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And your income will be tenfold if you learn about emotional maturity.
Learn it in 24 hours.
Exactly.
I'd be an expert. Or I'd just lie so well, I'd make you believe that I'm an emotionally intelligent person.
So this is so interesting. And me and Sammy had the conversation on the way down here. This is how I see it. If people are getting success, money, whatever it might be, if you're a better golfer, playing better, whatever, they will put a lot of effort and time into it.
Yeah.
They'll put a lot of effort into, especially, and this is no disrespect to ladies around Cheshire, I'm sure you have a lot of it in London, in the more affluent areas. they'll put a lot of time into having Botox, puffed up things. And I can't speak because I had a facelift like 7 years ago, didn't I? So I can't speak about that like this, but we put so much time and effort into making ourselves look better, whatever it might be. But if we actually work out how much time people put into their emotional maturity, emotional well-being, it's so minimal. Most people, it's zero.
Yeah, with me, it's zero. I'm going to be honest.
There you go.
I got no idea. I don't even know how to I don't know.
So isn't that interesting? So
I do, but with me, I'm going to be honest. I've just winged everything in life.
Yeah.
My whole way, like the whole way. If someone says to me, people say to me, Mikey, what's your 5-year plan? I'm like, 5 years? I'm like, what's my 24-hour plan? I don't know. I'm trying to get through today first.
Yeah.
I don't have a plan with life.
But you see, that's quite an addictive type of looking at things. And it's just, a lot of that, I think it's great. I think it's great to have a bit of that, you know. But then we have this thing called delayed gratification that I'd never even heard of.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now I try and look at what's going to make me happy in my life, whatever I've got left of it, rather than I'm going to be happy with today, but still wanting to have fun today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the balance that, you know, so delayed gratification, my favorite book, The Road Less Traveled. Please read it, guys. He says, if you want to be like emotionally well and be happy, you have to try and get delayed gratification in your life, honesty in all your affairs, always accept responsibility for your own actions. How many people actually really do that? And then balance it all up so you don't go, you know, how many people blame other people or situations? My God, I did it all my life.
Yeah, I still do it today.
All my life.
So let me ask you this then. Someone who's been through a lot, and we will dive into your addictions, into everything, and I do want to talk about that just because I feel like it gives credibility to your story and why you can talk about it. But for someone who has pretty much done everything in life, tried it all, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
What is one bit of advice you would give to the younger generation on how to better yourself?
Oh, just try and do things in reasonable moderation. It's a bit like, you know, I'd never say to people, don't ever drink, it's dangerous. Have a drink, have a bit of fun. If you want to do it then the next day and the next day and the next day, just have a little think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you are like me, and then try before you go too far with it. You see, once you've gone over the threshold,
you're done.
And you're fucked, and you're in a psychiatric ward, or you're just about to kill yourself, or you're sticking a grants with a Charlie up your nose a week, or whatever it might be. You with me? Or, you know, once you've got to that level, you thought there's no way back.
Yeah, no.
You know, so I think that Hotel California, you know, you can't leave. You're fucking one of us now. And this is what you got to do. And then you're on a program of abstinence. So before you get to that stage, I had so many fucking things in my life that could have pointed me in that direction. The fractured skull, going to my first AA meeting and just put my fucking earmuffs on and read that yellow sign. That could have been me.
The turning point.
Yeah, that could have been it. Getting in that brawl with that policeman on the motorway. That could have been, and there's so many others. The list is fucking endless. Car crashes, rolling cars over, pissed up, running, police chasing after me across fields, you know. And fucking, in the old days, nothing was online, so reporting it stolen, you know. I hope if it's 40 years ago, I'll get away with that one, but reporting it stolen, you know. Loving the buzz of being interviewed by a copper and lying to him.
Seriously?
I loved it.
No way.
The guy was called Harry. I'm sorry, Harry, if you're watching. You know, he was basically saying, I know it was you. I chased you across that field. He chased me through a bush. I had scratches all in my face. He obviously wasn't desperate, so he wouldn't go through the fucking bush, would he?
Yeah.
So I got home. Luckily, I took the keys out of the ignition, which was amazing. It was a V12 Jag that I'd rolled in this field. I was only fucking 19. So I've pegged it, and then I thought, shit, what do I do now? So don't do fucking anything. Then in the morning, woke up, the car's been stolen, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go to the, and, you know, my car's been nicked. Next thing, I get a phone call or they speak to me. Oh, yes, one of our officers saw that. Yeah. Could you come in tonight? He'd just like to have a chat with you, walking in. And this is a guy, by the way, who's shit scared of dying with some health issue. Walked in with absolutely no fear. I had scratches all over my face. He's going to know it's me, but I'm just going to say the cat did it. And I quite liked it. He's going to know it's you. And I'm going, wasn't. And then I had more serious things happen in my life as I went through. And I think I had a dislike of the police. I believe I was probably got this ODD.
Okay.
Definitely got a bit of that. People in authority. Anything that's official. Like doing my accounts, I never did them on time. My accountant used to pull his hair. I'd graft my balls off making loads of money. But that never did my VAT returns on time. Bored. ADHD. Bored. But actually, with the police, got off on having one over on them. I liked it,
And throughout your peak of being addicted to drugs,
yeah,
how much was you consuming?
about a grand's worth a week, but it was 50 quid a gram at the time.
So is that a lot?
A lot of shit, yeah. I do it in if I'm out for partying. And at the end, I was going out a lot of nights. And I always used to think, well, I'm not a proper drug addict. I only do it when I'm going out.
Mm-hmm.
But by the end, I was doing it in the fucking mornings as well.
Serious, every day?
Yeah, and I think one of the reasons that I went in rehab, I actually ran out of dough. I'd lived life like this fucking movie star thing. When that Wolf of Wall Street movie came out, my phone fucking melted. Fucking hell, Woody, they made a film about you. That was how fucking insane.
So let me ask you this. If you was to make 5 million quid tomorrow,
yeah,
what would stop you from relapsing?
Oh, virtually everything, mate. I go to about 5 meetings a week. I do loads of different fellowships. I'm not meant to mention the names of them, but they're linked with drugs and alcohol, so you get the drift. I go to lots of meetings, help quite a lot of people. I've got kids that I love and cherish, and I'd be letting them down. I relapsed 6.5 years ago.
And how was that relapse?
Well, my wife left me, and I was pretty devastated. There was a few other things that happened as well, which I don't really want to start criticising anybody because I'm not here for that. And I went out on a stupid one-night bender, and I knew it wasn't going to be good. I just did it, and it ended up pretty mad.
How long did you relapse for?
One night.
One night, that was it?
I think we went out till midnight, and at 7 a.m, I'm still having a party with a lot of randomers in the Renaissance Hotel. Frigging drug dealer coming up and down. All sorts of stuff going on in the room, like what happens with a load of people and a couple of strippers and all that stuff, all that caper. What the fuck am I doing? Yeah. After 15 years of sobriety. And I wanted to die then. I wanted to die. And I think if I'd not had kids, I think I might have chucked myself out. That was on the 11th floor of the Renaissance Hotel. That was as bad. I felt as bad that day as I did in Italy at the World Cup. And I think it was the fact I had 4 kids. Can't do this. Luckily, I got myself back into the rooms. And ever since that day, I never want to go there again. So if I had 5 million today, which it would be highly unlikely that I ever would. And I like to think, have you ever heard of Johari window?
No.
It's 4 windows it's a psychological thing. The guy was called Joe and Harry. So the first pane of window is known. So I know you're Mikey, you have a podcast, everybody knows it, you know it. Then there's hidden. That might be stuff that you might not know, that people don't know about you. Mm-hmm. You might not have told anybody. Insecurities. I had 1 million of them when I was younger, mate. Mm-hmm. 1 million of them. My knob's not big enough. Why have I not got a hairy chest? My mates have. I can't grow a beard. I couldn't grow a beard like yours. I'm effeminate. All this shit that used to go on for me, really, really fucking did. All those things. So that's the hidden stuff. I don't have any of that today, thank God. Then this the blind part of the window. What we might think about you, Mikey, your mates might not tell you. You might behave certain ways and they're going, what's he fucking like that, Mike? I'm not saying that does happen, by the way. I'm just using that as an example. But the last window, unknown. Mm-hmm. Something that hasn't happened to you and you don't know how you'd react. So if somebody banged 5 million in my direction, I don't know what I'd do with it. But I'd like to think, you get these people, I do this, I do that. Hang on a minute. I might get the 5 million, go and buy 10 Ferraris, might not.
Yeah, you don't know. No one knows.
It's you know.
You'd like to think you won't relapse.
This is what I'd like. Oh, no, I'm very, very confident I wouldn't relapse. But I don't know what I'd do with the money. I think I'd make sure that my boys were okay financially, but not too much okay. I don't think it's a good idea for a kid to be left with millions.
Yeah.
And nothing to, my daughters are both pretty well off. They've been successful, so I wouldn't have to worry too much about them. The rest of the money, I'd like to think I'd set a well-being rehab centre up for people who haven't got any money. Now, there are these places that are run by the council and stuff, and I'm not knocking them, that some of them are really good, but to access them is really difficult. You've got to jump through a lot of hoops. So you've got to be probably 4 weeks sober before you can go in a free rehab. Well, some people can't get 4 weeks sober.
Some people can't get 4 days.
Yeah. But I understand why they do it. Why should we waste all this money trying to help you when you're not making an effort?
Yeah.
I totally understand it. But, something like that would be great. And if you blew the whole 5 million, if I blew the whole 5 million in the rest of my life and we were just bringing people in, walk around the streets of London, Manchester, people living in fucking shop doorways.
Yeah, it's fucked.
Like
London's bad. I was in Knightsbridge the other night. I was in Knightsbridge, You think Knightsbridge, you think billionaire status.
I know.
And there's homeless people on the streets.
And some young people as well.
It is.
And young women as well. Can you imagine?
It is a scary world out there.
What have they been through?
To end up there.
What have they been through? Care homes, whatever it might be. I'm not knocking care homes, by the way. But, the more dysfunctional, obviously I've watched all your podcasts, but I did watch the one about you converting, and you shared a little bit about your childhood. You obviously have had a childhood with, a wealthy father, but living with your mum who definitely wasn't wealthy. That was a huge contradiction. So, in my world, and you may disagree, it's probably quite dysfunctional. And
definitely, 100%.
Yeah.
I think that messed my head up.
Right.
Because in my head, I was thinking, my mum's not got money. Cool. My dad's got loads of money. Why is he not helping my mum?
Yeah.
And there was many years that fucked with my head, but I kind of just, I think that's where my ego comes from and my arrogance. And people think I'm arrogant, but for me, it's not. I'm not going back.
Yeah.
I'm never, ever going to need to rely on anyone in my life. I'm never, ever going to make sure my mum doesn't have food on her table or whatever it is. Even now, when I sit at a table with my friends or my mum or anyone, I always pay the bill. Not because I'm a millionaire and I've got but because I remember when I used to sit at a table, I used to look at the price to pick what I want to eat. I never looked at the thing and said, I fancy a chicken. It was, okay, I'm going to get, what's the cheap? I'll get, Mum, I want a portion of chips, please. She'll be like, Mikey, I know you're hungry, get more. No, I'm not. Chips are fine for me because I knew my mum was paying. Now.
It's lovely though, Mikey.
It is, but for me, it's a problem I've got because now I want to pay for everyone.
Yeah.
And my mum was like, Mikey, you haven't got to go and pay for everyone. You don't even know these people. You're just taking people out for food for no reason.
I'm honestly, me and you are so similar. That is just me all over. I still do it now. I still fucking do it now. I'm in somewhere. What are you having? I don't even fucking drink. I've got the biggest drinks bill at our golf club. No, I mean it.
And you don't drink.
And I don't drink. My son helps me out. He's 18 now. He likes to slurp. But his mates, do you want one? Do you want one? Do you want one? Do you want one? And I've got a massive fucking drink. So very, very similar. It's a bit of people pleasing, though. You do know that.
It is. You? It's that, but it is people pleasing.
I shouldn't say that. It is for me.
It is for everyone. It is. We have to. Let's not cut the bullshit. Of course, it is. I like being the main man. So I paid the bill.
I'm the main man, and what everyone to like me.
100%. That's all it is. But I kind of pretend that it's my upbringing and my trauma just to make myself sound better. But the truth is, when I speak to someone who actually tells me the truth, I will admit it. I'll say, it is ego. I want to be the main man, of course.
So one of the reasons after I spoke to you, I just thought you were a sound guy, and now I've got down here as well. I've been really impressed with your levels of honesty.
Honesty, yeah.
Yeah, and we were talking about families, and it's quite easy for me to talk about my parents supremely honestly, because they're actually not here anymore. They both passed away, but obviously both your parents, I know your mum's been through it, but she's doing good and are both alive. So, you know, the stuff with your dad, you know, not maybe providing as much for your mum that you might have thought. Did you ever broach that subject with him?
My dad, without speaking on my dad too much, he's a very old school. Don't talk about feelings. Don't talk about it. I don't care. I've never actually sat down with my dad and had like a, you know, like when I have kids, I want my kids to come to me and say, Dad, you know, I've got a lot of stress going on in my life, or I've broke up with my girlfriend, or this, and I want to sit down and advise him.
Yeah.
Like if I ever cried in front of my dad, he'd 100% slap me around the face. I'm like, shut the fuck up. What are you kid? Like he's very, we're men.
Yeah.
Men don't have emotion.
Yeah.
And only up until recently, I've tried to break that cycle, because for years I've been like, everyone that knows me, like even through the podcast, people know me. I'm a man. That's it. And I never understood what it meant to be a man. That was the issue. I thought being a man was being the big tough guy who has no feelings, has no emotion. But that's just really, the truth of it is just an insecure little boy. That's just someone who genuinely is trying to put a front on, trying to buy nice cars. I have 3 watches at home. Nice, beautiful watches. I've got one big diamond one that I bought for the podcast. I don't wear it no more. I wear my Whoop. Not because, but because I don't need to satisfy anyone but myself. Now, if I'm going out for dinner with my missus and I want to wear my watch because I want to impress myself, I'll do it. But not because I want to show off anymore. Because 99% of the times I'm going to get a little kid come up and stab me for it anyway. I don't care about it no more. But I feel like that I've only learned recently what it's like to actually have emotions and speak to people. And actually, even now, having this chat here, I would never have this chat. I'd be sat here saying, I don't know what you're talking about, man. I'm a man. I don't know about you. But I'm over that. I don't have it. I have an ego, and I love my ego, and it will never, ever go, as much as so many people say, Mikey, your ego's too fucking big. That's what's made me so successful. I started the podcast with 1 subscriber and called it the world's fastest growing show.
Brilliant.
People were like, Mikey, what are you doing? You're taking a piss.
You mentioned that before. It's absolute class.
I thought, it is. Who's going to tell me it's not?
No, it's just class. You know, I personally think you're a class guy, mate. I think you're a class guy. There's a bit of a however.
Yeah, listen.
I do feel that your girlfriend may have a point, you know. And as with me, so when I went into rehab, before then, I'd been buying and selling 300 cars a month. I made some good dollar. It all went. I didn't lose a load of the divorce. I had to pay my ex-wife, rightly so. And the rest, you know, Georgie Best, you won't remember. Have you ever heard of Georgie Best? Very famous footballer. He's got quite a famous thing, you know. Through my life, I spent a lot of money on booze and birds and fast cars. The rest, I just squandered. But I was about 10 years of age emotionally, right? So you may, and I'm not saying that this is you, you may have this talent for business. You know what you're doing, you're a great guy, but maybe you could work on your emotional maturity. Maybe
you know, I need to. I just don't know how to.
Well, you know, I mean, we'd love to help you with that, completely off the record. Anytime, because it's what, you see, you've probably picked up so many addictive traits because of your upbringing. And some of them, they look great, don't they? They drive to work and they drive to this and they drive to that. But any of us with addictive traits, if we're strongly addictive, we can achieve amazing things with some things, but
lacking other things.
Other things we like, you know. So it's like having that. A lot of people who are driven, who've got addictive traits, they don't have a level of self-love and a self-worth. I'm not saying you there, but it's about feeling that. And then once you've got that, then you're not as bothered about doing it. So sometimes it could have a negative effect. I remember when I worked at a football club for 5 seasons.
Okay.
And with my mate Mick, and I wrote this thing down, and it was actually out of a 12-step Gamblers Anonymous stuff. And by the way, I'm really sorry. I think I've mentioned AA a couple of times and other fellowships. I'm not meant to have done that, but I just got into the. So please forgive me, anybody who's offended. But anyway, this stuff I got, and it was about maturity, and there was a bit in it, and it's got about accepting constructive criticism gratefully, willing to improve, not feeling like we are the center of the universe. Accepting that there are delays for certain things and be patient, deal with emergencies with poise. And Mick was really happy with all this stuff. But then there was one bit that came up in, endure defeat and disappointment without whining or complaining. And I'm trying to give this to the players. And Mick goes, you can fuck off with that one, Woody. I don't want my fucking players in here going,
it is what it is.
Never mind,
lads.
Gaffer. So I had to tweak that one. But that sort of stuff, I do that checklist on so many people, just voluntary, and they don't have to be even alcoholics. How many people can actually go, yep. I do pretty well. I've had 22 years of bloody therapy and fellowships, but even now there's one that don't worry about things that can't be helped. I still do it. I've got general anxiety disorder around stupid things. I won't have any anxiety about this. Or what might people think, or none of that. It's usually about me and my kids. Am I going to die young? What are my kids going to do? What will my boys do? What I'm projecting negative. I don't know whether you ever do that. Catastrophizing, we call it. And I don't do it with anything anymore, apart from this bloody, am I going to die young? What's that mark on my hand? And on that, it's, I'm out of balance.
Where do you think that comes from?
My mother.
Really? Oh, yeah, you did.
Always think you've got the worst, and then when you find out that it isn't, then you'll be happy. So if you get a headache...
That's a fucking bad way to look at life, though.
Mate, but when you've had it hardwired in from a kid. So if you have bad headaches,
pretend you're going to die.
It's going to be a brain tumour, but then when you've had your scan, hey, it's not. And unfortunately, I've done that a lot of my life.
Yeah, no, that's a hard... That's because the stress of that, you must...
I've had 22 years therapy for this. I'm much improved. But it's like, that's another thing. I mean, you might idea with this, I don't know. But I have what I call my devil or my addict. So in my previous life, I had 11 devils and 1 angel. And now I feel I have 11 angels and 1 devil. If I ever think this devil is going to go, I might be in trouble because I have to accept I've still got that. Otherwise, So when somebody cuts me up in the car, I had a bus driver, totally out of order. I pulled in front of him. I wasn't with you, was I, Sammy? No, anyway, I was with somebody. I wasn't doing anything wrong. This is only 2 days ago. It goes down to 1 lane. The bus driver drives right up me out. He had his headlamps on. He's got them flashing. And he's got his horn hooting at me like this. Mate, my devil wanted to get out of the car, drag him out of the cab and kick his fucking head in. I really did. I had to think about, right, what is the best thing for me to do? Say a prayer for him. He's an angry fuck. Sorry, Mr. Bus Driver, if you're actually watching. He's angry. He might, who knows what's happened for him today? Maybe his dog's just died or something.
Yeah, no one knows.
You never know, do you? So I said a prayer for him. And then eventually he turned right, But that devil inside was still right at me. But know what I mean?
One thing I'll say, obviously I'm way younger and I feel even weird trying to give advice, but I feel like it's good you've got that devil still there. You have to still have some balance in life, otherwise... Yeah. Because that devil, sometimes it might, without you realizing, help you do good things. Push harder. I can do more fitness. Like you said, you'll be on the bike. I can do more. That's the devil saying that don't quit now. Don't quit. I'm not going to quit. Yeah. But it's how you control it.
Yeah, definitely.
How you interpret what that devil is saying to you.
Well, is it, so, you're Muslim.
Yeah.
So if you're asking God, is it a good idea that I get out of the car and smash fuck out of this bus driver? Yeah? Yeah, do you get it? Yeah. Is it a good idea? He's going to go, isn't he?
No.
Allah is going to go, Mikey, Definitely not.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
It's up to you if you listen or not.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I try and do that. And by the way, there might be people who watch this and go, yeah, but what about the other? What about that? And I have made some pretty serious fuck ups. But honestly, it's once every 3 years instead of
once a week.
And the rest. Towards the end, mate, I can't tell you how many road rages I had and how many this, that, and the other. And, and I had this, because I had a few heavy mates and all that, embarrassing. This is so embarrassing, Do you not know who I am? I mean, that is just so embarrassing now. When do you not know who I am? Oh my God.
But that's the good thing is though, that's changed now. It's not.
Oh yeah.
That's one thing I say. I always love having podcasts with people. And even when we first spoke, I remember you said to me, Mikey, I didn't actually want to come on because obviously you're ex-criminals and all that. And then after I spoke to you, it was like, but I'm coming down. And I was like, sick. All right, cool. I enjoyed that chat. And you've come down here today. We probably spoke for 2 hours before the episode. We spoke more off camera than we have on camera. And I feel like even for the viewers watching, there is a lot more we could speak about.
Oh, yeah,
we
definitely.
could really, if we wanted to, pull a lot of maybe the secret things you didn't want to tell. We could put out of you. And I think for the viewers watching, show some love. Let's aim for 2,000 likes. If we hit 2,000 likes, we'll bring Woody on for a part 2. And while you are all here watching, his link for his podcast is in the bottom. All of you go and subscribe. Go and show him some love over there. And let's make him hit. How many subscribers you on now? 50. Guys, go show him some love. Let's push them numbers up. Go click subscribe. Comment on his recent video. Say you come from the Blue Tick Show. And we're going to bring Woody back for part 2. Hit the like button. And to wrap up, listen, we need a little gem from you. How old are you now?
66.
66 years old. You've lived a long, eventful life. Give the youth one line of advice that will help them if they're watching this podcast right now.
Oh, well, do your best in life. Try your best at what you can do. But if you don't achieve maybe what you want, don't beat yourself up about it. Show people love. Give people support and give people encouragement. But don't be too hard on them. Because, people who get bossed around and told this. I banned should out of my life. I've just said it now, but I don't ever tell anyone what they should do now.
Mm-hmm.
You should. No. An idea. This might be the way forward. There's so much, we need love in the world, don't we? Show people a bit of love.
Mm-hmm.
You can still be passionate. You still want things. You know what I mean? I've only spent probably 3 or 4 hours with you, but I'm already feeling the love, Mikey. I think I really mean it. I think you're a top guy. And I really mean that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, you're a good fella. And it's like, look for the good in people. There you go. That's a good one. Look for the good in people.
Listen, on that note, it's been a pleasure having you here. And we look forward to seeing you very soon for part 2. And part 2, I'm letting you know I'm going to pull out a lot of stuff that you might not want me to pull out of you, but we're gonna give the viewers a showstopper. But listen, it's a pleasure having you here.
Thanks, Mikey.
Guys, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.